because someone is not a bad man does not mean that they are a good man. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a girl talk episode dedicated to relationships, so let's get straight into the good stuff. I literally would not wish a situationship on my worst enemy. Situationships literally are death to romance in my opinion, and this is coming from someone who likes to call themselves a hopeless romantic. If you're in a situationship and you're the one who has commitment issues, it's great. Like, it's a 10 out of 10 experience. But if you've ever been in a situationship and you're the one who wants it to be more, it is the worst feeling ever. And I'm just gonna tell you this now. Don't entertain a situationship. Like, maybe there's a chance it could become a relationship, but at what cost? Like, do you really want to be in a 2-year talking stage with someone whenever there's probably someone else out there for you who's ready to snatch you up? But if you do want to try to go down that road, to have clear boundaries set in place. I'm talking about time boundaries, physical boundaries, and emotional boundaries, because I feel like you should not be fully giving yourself to someone who can't fully commit to you, because that's always going to end up in heartbreak, because there's always going to be some sort of disconnect. If you are loving the heck out of someone and they just are not able to reciprocate that, regardless, you're not going to feel great about yourself. And that's why I'd say don't do a situationship, but if you must, please set boundaries. Do not respond to this person every single time that they text you and just have your entire life be revolving around, oh my gosh, is this man gonna text me? Because that's just, no, that's not good. That's not good. Don't cancel plans for your situationship. Don't flake for your situationship. Honestly, don't even, if you are ever in a situationship, that is your homie. That is your homeboy. Until they want to make it something official, that is your homeboy. And do not would you let your homeboy stop you from finding your husband? I don't think so. Never assume you're in a relationship until a man point blank asks you, do you want to be my girlfriend? Yes or no? Until you get to that point, personally, I don't really think I'm in a relationship until someone asks me point blank period, would you like to be my girlfriend? Because I feel like the trap that a lot of situations have is you'll start doing boyfriend and girlfriend things and start developing boyfriend and girlfriend feelings, but none of that matters if you're not actually in a relationship. A lot of that is just really beautiful words and beautiful experiences wrapped up in this package. But at the end of the day, that is not your man until he asks you to be his girlfriend, or if he asks to be your man. Until that, please never assume a situationship is a relationship, because it is not. Because if it was a relationship, you would not be having the inner turmoil of, oh, is this right? Like, does he like me? If you're in a relationship, you will be sure of yourself and sure of your position within that relationship. So please never settle for a situationship because that is the closest you can get with the person. Because I've done that in the past and it's been like a year of my life kind of wasted, honestly, focusing on one person who clearly did not want to commit to me. And that's a hard truth, but it's something I kind of had to pick up, because it was either going to be a hard truth now or it was going to be a hard truth when in another year we're still in the same spot and I'm still in a situationship. So don't be like me. Set boundaries in your situationships so you don't end up confused and hurt whenever it ends, or kind of feel blindsided, because once again, a situationship is not a relationship. They're not the same. If they were the same thing, there would not be two separate terms for them. So please never get situationship and relationship confused, and never assume that just because you're going on dates with someone, you're hanging out with someone frequently, you have strong feelings for someone, they have strong feelings for you. Never misinterpret that as a relationship, because I feel like that's when a lot of the heartache happens, whenever we start making assumptions. Whenever I'm going into relationships, I never assume anything except that my name is Ava Marie. That's the only assumption you will ever get out of me in a relationship, because you should never assume anything with relationships, especially a situationship. Cheating genuinely has nothing to do with you, and it has everything to do for the other person. It has everything to do with the other person. Because if someone makes a commitment to you and then steps out on that commitment, that has absolutely nothing to do with you. And that was something that was really hard for me to process. For a while, I was kind of thinking like, what did I do wrong to make my partner feel like they had to seek something outside the relationship. And at the end of the day, if you're not doing something for your partner that makes them want to step out, they need to have the maturity and the respect for you to just leave you alone instead of dragging you through that heartache. Micro cheating might be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of, and I am urging all of you guys not to kind of fall into the nuances that cheating is nowadays. Like, oh, well, he just is doing this, he's just doing that. Cheating is whatever you define cheating as, and that is why I'm begging you not to always have other people's opinions in your relationship, because everybody has their own personal threshold for what they consider to be faithful in a relationship. I know some people, for example, who they're fine if their man follows like OnlyFans models, things like that. But me personally, I'm not letting that slide. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not letting that slide. And so if I have a friend who's okay with that and they're coming to me about their relationship, I'm obviously going to tell them based on my perspective that I think that's cheating. And that's why you really have to kind of set your own boundaries in a relationship when it comes to cheating. Because if you don't set your own boundaries, heaven forbid you get cheated on, you're not going to know what to do. And that's honestly what happened to me. I didn't really have clear boundaries for the treatment I thought I deserved in a relationship. And so that led to me getting cheated on and kind of staying, because technically it wasn't as egregious as the cheating that I'd see in the movies. In the movies, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, you know, he just had Tinder on his phone. He wasn't actively meeting up with random girls. And that, hearing that now, I know I sound stupid. But at the time, I did not have a clear boundary of what cheating was. It was my first relationship. And when I asked around me, everybody else's boyfriends seemed to be doing worse than mine. So I just assumed that what my boyfriend was doing was just kind of like typical male behavior. Ladies, there is a man out there that will respect your boundaries. And if you haven't found him yet, that's perfectly normal and that's perfectly fine. But please do not settle for someone who is pushing past your boundaries just because you see the world around you and you see, oh, well, her boyfriend got a girl pregnant and she stayed. She's stronger than me, because I would not have stayed. Like, don't base your own relationship standards and boundaries on what you see around you, because what someone else goes for, you might not go for. Like, I know that I run a strict program. I'm not gonna lie. My program is very strict. It's very strict. Like, I'm talking about, we're walking, you better not even look at any other girls while we're walking. Like, it's a strict program. Like, if I see you in some likes, I'm gonna be like, okay, so what's this about? Like, I run a strict program. And that's just me. And that's something I had to come to my own conclusion about. Being in a relationship when I got cheated on, I noticed that, okay, so I clearly need to run a stricter program, because everything that happened to me in my past relationship literally would not have happened if I just ran a strict program. If I ran a strict program, the relationship would have been over the second I saw Tinder on his phone. But no, I did not run a strict program. I was a little dummy dum-dum. And I was like, well, everybody I know's boyfriend's doing worse, so mine can't be that bad. That's the dumbest mentality to have. Just because someone is not a bad man does not mean that they are a good man. There is something in between. I feel like a lot of times in relationships, we kind of have a jump between good and bad, and we forget that there is a middle ground. Your partner does not have to be a bad person for you to not see a future relationship with them. And I feel like that gets girls stuck in relationships a lot. Breakups hurt, breakups are painful, and it's something that I feel like you're never really prepared for. Like, I was never prepared for the way that things ended with my ex. I genuinely never thought we were going to break up, and if I wasn't the one who pulled the trigger, we probably never would have broken up, because I was just kind of like, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I was allowing myself to get dogged out. My friends were telling me about it. I couldn't hear them. I was like, guys, he doesn't have a baby mom. Like, I was a dummy. Breakups do not always have to be a negative thing. Two people cannot work out, and that's just how it is. But I will say, if you want a smooth breakup, You need to make sure that you have things going for yourself outside of the relationship. The hardest breakups I have ever seen are always when a girl is fully 1,000% into the relationship, doesn't have friends, doesn't have hobbies, and their world revolves around their boyfriend. If you're in a relationship like that, I'm not gonna lie, the breakup is gonna be the worst thing ever. The breakup might break you, I'm not even gonna lie. And that is because you should not be in a relationship unless you are full to your core. Because if you're not full to your core in a relationship, girl, I'm sorry, that is going to break you down. Yes, I know breakups are hard and breakups are scary, but a breakup is 1,000 times more scary when you have nothing going for you outside of your relationship. And that is why I always encourage people to make sure you have yourself full, like you make sure you are a full cup before you try to pour into those around you. Because if you're not full and you're just pouring into the relationship, now when the relationship's gone, your cup is empty, and that is what is going to hurt the most about a relationship. I'm telling you guys, from my little past experiences, I can confidently say that the times when I've been able to separate from a man and actually feel good about myself were the times where I had things going for myself, and I knew that breaking up with a man was not going to be the end-all be-all for me because I knew I still had stuff going for myself. Breakups a lot of times can kind of feel like, what did I do wrong? But in relationships, you have to remember it's two different people with entirely different dynamics. And just because you're not meant for this person does not mean that there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you're damaged. It doesn't mean that you did something egregious. Two people can just not work out. And the best way to heal from a breakup is to work on yourself. There's nothing better than pouring into yourself. And I feel like a breakup is the best time to pour into yourself. Yes, girl, cry, get some ice cream, lay on the couch with your girls, like really like cry it out. But don't let a breakup define your value. Don't think that a relationship not working out is a knock on your value, because that is not the case at all. If that were the case, then nobody would ever get into a relationship again after their first breakup. Okay guys, that is it for this video. Just a quick girl chat for you guys. Some things that I thought were weighing on my heart to share with you guys. Comment down below some more videos that you'd like to see in my Girl Talk series, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye guys.